Welcome everyone. I have the pleasure of showing you the Powkiddy RGB20 that was loaned to me by a customer of mine who needed some help with the SD card. His name is Junior. Junior, thank you very much for loaning me this and allowing me to do a review on it while I had it. I hope he feels, if I trash this thing and say it's a piece of crap, I hope he doesn't feel bad when I give it back to him. But I won't do that. This is actually a pretty neat piece of equipment. I'll talk about it right now. So this is, as you can tell, it is a vertical handheld player. There are, through my experience and my customers, I know that there's a love for these type. I prefer the horizontal players, but I know there are vertical player lovers out there, and this would be perfect for them. This runs the same operating system as Android Go Advance. It runs, I can run Emulec, and there's so many games that can emulate right out of the box, like 20 to 30. And then if you want to get even crazier, like have some even weirder stuff on here emulated, you can do that as well with not too much effort. There are two flavors of this. The one I have here, it looks like kind of like a Famicom. This metal plate here gives it a nice look. It looks really cool. The other one kind of looks like more of like a Super Nintendo-ish sort of controller. It's really neat looking. I like it. I'd have a hard time deciding which one I'd like more. Pretty much the button layout on this thing is interesting. The analog stick is sort of in the middle, which, to be honest, isn't my favorite. I wish they switched the D-pad and the analog stick. I find myself when I'm playing games, I just gravitate towards the D-pad anyway, just because it's there. The analog stick works great. It feels good. You can push on it as an extra button. I mean, it's really nice, but it's just by habit. I just go, by habit when I'm in the game. I'm like, oh crap, I'm using the D-pad again. Very interesting, but it's still awesome that they have it. Speaker front here, which is nice. It can get pretty loud. There is one of the things I don't like about it is there's no volume knob. I know a lot of systems don't have that. That's one thing I look for. So for when you're in a game, you hold down select, because there's a start and select, and you hold select and up and down in gameplay to adjust the volume, which is fine. It's great on the fly, and you don't have to get out of the game and do it. You can do it, but it's just not the same. But it is an option. So at least there's something. So I can't really fault it too much for that. But I do wish there was a little volume knob, but whatever. Maybe that's old school now. One of the things you probably notice is this groove. So there are triggers on this. And I guess this is what makes this one stand out from all the others, is it's got the triggers, and your fingers go in the back here. You get two sets. No one really likes it. I tend to agree. I mean, my hands are huge, so it doesn't work out that well, but I can do it. But while the whole screen's moving around a lot when I'm trying to use the triggers. It's really interesting to watch me play this thing. Most of the games don't even require the triggers. I mean, you can map them, but it's not a deal breaker if you really like if you like the old school stuff, if you're really, really into triggers, if you really like having the triggers like on the top or something on the side. Again, a horizontal one would probably have triggers on the top. I can't imagine them in the middle. It was a unique way to have triggers on a vertical square form. But it's basically a way to fit it all. People don't like it, but I can't think of a better solution other than the top. But it would be weird. It's possible to have the triggers on top. Maybe someone will do that, or maybe something like that exists already. That's about it for that. So there's a lot of buttons here. Emulec most of the stuff will be mapped already to Emulec, and then you can adjust them later. And that's about it for that. There's nothing other of interest. There's a power button and reset button. On the top is the headphone jack, which is nice. The SD card, where the SD card will go. By default, it comes with, I think it's like 32, I think. And I think I have a 64 in there now. There's the charging port, which is the USB-C, which is nice. There is the Wi-Fi switch, which is awesome that this is on here. So this device does have Wi-Fi built in. You don't need to plug in anything special. The Android Go Advance has a USB that you can plug in a wireless there, but this one that's included, which is nice. And there's a switch, so out of the box it's off. So I actually saw one reviewer try to get Wi-Fi going and they never turned the switch on. So like me, they didn't read the instructions. I just found it by accident, but definitely turn it on if you need it. Turn it off. It wastes power on this thing if you leave it on. If you don't need it, pretty much you're going to need it if you want to do like scraping for video clips and such to go with your games. The wireless is pretty good, or if you want to put on ROMs yourself, you can use the wireless to do that. I'm not going to talk about that unless if it's requested and I can show how to do it. I actually did it I usually put on ROMs in a different way. And then there's the OTG port, which you can plug in other things. So if you don't like the wireless, you can get your own, put it on in that port. It's pretty useful. It's not a charging port. I won't tell you how I know, but use the middle one for charging. And that's it. There's really not much more. Some quick stats for this. The screen is a 3.5 IPS. It does have Wi-Fi Bluetooth. It has an RK3326 quad core, 1.5 gig. It's got an A53 CPU up to 60 frames per second, 6-hour battery life, USB-C charge, headphone jack. It goes for about $90. There's so many systems this can emulate. I'm going to show what this thing can do and rate how well it could do it. I think there's about like 50 or 60 things it can emulate, but maybe out of the box, maybe like 25, 26. I'm going to show most of the stuff out of the box, maybe a few others. Some weird things like Vectrix, which most people wouldn't emulate, but it is possible. And rate how well they do to me. But everything, for the most part, is great. Let's go through them all. Is it worth buying? I say yes if you're into vertical handhelds. Powkiddy has an interesting history. A lot of their stuff is kind of junky, in my opinion. This is them stepping up. This is a clone, but still, it's different. It's powerful. The screen's big. The screen looks beautiful. Everything you need is in here. So I say get it if you like vertical handhelds. And don't be afraid of the Powkiddy label in this one. You know, you can complain a little bit about the plastic, but overall, it's pretty sweet. And it looks great. And it's got everything you need. Other than the TV out, which I really don't care about that sort of thing. Some people do. That's probably something that will upset some people that it doesn't have a TV out, but that's about it. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time. Bye.